What if I told you Pokémon Legends Arceus was originally going to have real-time action battles? Well, it seems the Pokémon TERA Leak just continues to deliver, and today we've got possibly the most exciting leak yet, the Pokémon Legends Arceus prototype. Now this comes to us in the form of a PDF presentation that I imagine Game Freak was showing off to either the Pokemon Company or shareholders, basically pitching the idea of Pokémon Legends Arceus being super different to the traditional Pokemon formula. I swear I haven't seen a PowerPoint presentation like this since like middle school. So I'm going to be showing the original Japanese and then the machine translated English version after. And I know in the past leaks I covered people mentioned that machine translation or Google Translate could have some errors. So if any of you guys can provide any additional context or maybe see some errors, let me know in the comments below. We're literally going to go page by page. I don't know why there's a stuffle there already. We're planning on delivering a new title for 2021. I would like to explain the outline of the project we are envisioning, including the positioning of the work, its target audience, and the game content. Okay. We are also currently considering a Diamond and Pearl remake, but taking into account the development time and effort on the source material, we've decided not to make a proper remake that recreates the original with current technology. You may have seen this tweeted by Centro before. Basically, Diamond and Pearl weren't going to have remakes at all. Instead, they had their eye on the next generation of Pokemon. We will challenge ourselves to innovate gameplay technology in order to create the technical foundation for future works in the series. So Game Freak themselves actually fully wanted to commit to this Legends Arceus formula, evolving the Pokemon series in terms of gameplay and technology, and then make the Diamond and Pearl remakes with those new technological advances. But now we have even more context that they were in fact rushed games. They hired Ilka last minute, it seems, to make Chibi Diamond and Pearl, and well, the results definitely show. And this is where it starts getting interesting, because we got some pictures of Switch fans. So the main target audience of this work, meaning Legends Arceus, are core overseas gamers. I didn't know that specific part. I guess the picture makes even more sense now. We aim to attract new users who can enjoy our works in the future to different demographics than the main target of Beluga and Orion. Now, Beluga and Orion were Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Sword and Shield, so I take this to mean they wanted to attract an older audience considering the two games mentioned. And I did notice a lot more non-Pokemon exclusive streamers and YouTubers playing Legends Arceus, talking about it and mostly enjoying it.
I think it can be something good in the future if they attempt this formula again, but right now it's just not great. But I did overall enjoy my time with it, and I'm excited for the next Pokemon game to see where they go with it. I would be really disappointed if they went back to the same formula they've had for the last 20 years. That would really be sad.
We got some technical information. What the heck is Mega Turtle? External reference, rating not strictly A. Oh yeah, so in Japan, game ratings are completely different. Like we have the rated E for everyone, T for teen in America, but just for comparison, I have Twilight Princess here, which was rated B, and I believe that is a T-rated game in America. So maybe Legends Arceus was originally meant to be a T-rated game? I wonder what would have like had to be in it for it to get rated T though. Next, we actually get the code name I was mentioning, Hayabusa. You might have been wondering what that meant in the layout that I'm using here, but that is actually the code name for Legends Arceus. As for the code word Hayabusa, it has many aspects that lose to no one. It connects all the way to Hokkaido. It aims to reach a place never seen before, inspired by the amazing thing of the same name. Bullet Train? Why did I think they were talking about a bird? I actually took that Bullet Train. I don't remember it being called the Hayabusa though. But I mean, yeah, it makes sense for the code name of this region, because Sinnoh is based on Hokkaido in real life. Next, we got a little bit about the setting, and this is the first time where the infamous Brock pictures start showing up. I don't know why, for some reason, Brock was like the placeholder character for Legends Arceus. Maybe they just had a 3D model of Brock lying around from another game. Anyway, this is talking about the setting of the game, over 150 years prior to the modern Pokemon world. So finally we have official. It's always so iffy with these things because they're unreleased, so you could say that it's not official, but like, let's say we have a better idea of when Legends would have took place, which is 150 years prior to the modern Pokemon games. The world in this game is an old era where the concepts of humans, nature, Pokemon, and gods are all mixed together without any clear... Yeah, see, this is a little problematic, especially when it comes to certain stories that Why does it keep coming up, man? All right, next we have a little bit about the characters, and I just love all this concept art sprinkled here and there. Like, there's high quality versions of this around the internet too. Maybe there weren't originally going to be Diamond or Pearl clans. It seems like it was just one indigenous group. And then we have the Expedition Team and the Ginkgo Guild. Those were the three. They had a civilization in Sinnoh in an even more ancient time and built Snow Point Temple and Spear Pit. What? Dude, the Ginkgo Guild was going to have so much more lore. That would actually explain why Volo is so obsessed with Giratina and Arceus. They're basically like the Targaryens of the Pokemon world, which is funny because they're all so blonde. Well, that's already given us some pretty interesting differences in the lore. Next, we have a page about the main characters. We have the protagonist, of course, and then Captain Kamado and Silene, who I guess was gonna have glasses at some point. Yo, I actually kind of like it. Many familiar terms and people will appear, making it feel like it is connected to other series. These elements will give the impression of connection to the modern world of Pokemon. Yeah, of course, referencing all of the ancestors that we saw. Oh my god, this is so sick, dude. This almost looks like the game itself. I mean, this is like a mock-up of it, so I guess this was meant to show like the art style. We want to support a level of detail that gives a realistic feel to Pokemon life, while also having a Japanese style, nostalgic atmosphere. That is one thing I've seen people bring up, that why would Legends ZA look like Legends Arceus when Legends Arceus was very clearly Japanese. I don't know if lighting and shading refers to graphics or art style, but I really like how they did the cell shaded hard shadows style. I think looked pretty cool, almost like a storybook, and if Legends ZA is going to continue that trend of like it takes place in the past, I thought maybe that storybook aesthetic could carry on. We'll have to wait and see exactly what style ZA ends up going with. Oh my god. Why does Samurott look like that, bro? Also, Decidueye? What the hell? It looks more like Blaziken. I mean, like, that's straight up a chicken face. Oh, this is so sick. The original map of Sinnoh looks like Fire Spit Island wasn't gonna exist originally. There was just like a little volcano-ish area and also like a lake over here. We will create a sandbox that makes use of the quirks of Pokemon in the game cycle. We'll create 5 areas based on nature motifs and Pokemon environments. Okay, so it was never meant to be open world. We take inspiration from the Safari Park. The player will instantaneously walk/fly between them. Oh, well, that didn't really end up happening. Or at least you couldn't fast travel from one area to another in the final version. You always have to go back to Jubilife Village and like report your findings or whatever. That would have been nice, you know, no extra loading screens. Ooh, this is where it gets juicy. We got some prototype gameplay here. And again, I don't know why Brock is the model for these or why he's holding the Pokeball like that, but you know, this is a prototype. So the protagonist of this game will be able to perform a variety of actions in order to survive. In particular, emphasis will be placed on throwing actions, and the incorporation of capture and field gimmicks will enhance the individuality of the character's control. So yeah, they always intended for the idea or the main gimmick of this game is that you can just walk up and smack a Pokemon with the ball. But on the Japanese version, we can see more of a visual idea for all these concepts. I'm curious what each of these say. Jumping/climbing, setting up and throwing, crouch and hide, and then run with all your strength.
Why are you running?
I don't know about that last translation, but it seems that there was going to be a stamina bar originally for the character. This is a game where you manage your stamina to catch as many Pokemon as possible. The main character has stamina, which increases or decreases depending on the player's active operation. Players can acquire resources by exploring or perform a pseudo score attack. When the main character's stamina reaches 0, the game is over and the player must return to their base point? Wait, so this was going to be a completely different game. Because in the final game, if you get hit too many times, then you black out. Although it mentions a type of score system, so I guess as long as you keep catching Pokemon, you can like restore your stamina. So I guess it could be interesting for a future spin-off, but I'm kind of glad it wasn't in the final version. This page feels really out of place though, like it's literally after explaining the missions mechanic. So it seems this was going to be a very important core aspect of Legends Arceus at some point. Interestingly enough, there's no rolling, so maybe that wasn't planned yet, like the Dark Souls dodge roll. Although there is the crouching and hiding aspect, so maybe all Pokemon would just run away from you. And then we have some information about the battle, and this is where the craziest screenshot comes from. I really want to know more context about this. Were we going to have real-time action battles? The battle will transition seamlessly from the overworld and we'll be recreating wild battle scenes in real time, incorporating techniques such as positioning and trainer actions. What does this mean? Okay, I still can't tell from this screenshot though if we're controlling Brock or Pikachu. It looks like it's Brock though, but based off the fact that each button represents a different Pokemon move, makes me think the battles weren't gonna be turn-based. Like in the final game, you can dodge Pokemon attacks as the trainer. You know, sometimes alpha Pokemon or bigger Pokemon will get aggressive and attack you. You have to dodge away from their attacks. I wonder if low-key it was like too hard or too much to manage, like having to dodge while also attacking with your Pokemon. Because in the end, the noble Pokemon battles ended up being a sort of hybrid. Like you had to do the real-time element with your trainer, like dodge the attacks and throw the bombs, but then it would transition into the turn-based battles that we're used to. But I don't know, this scene right here tells me that maybe we could have controlled our Pokemon too. What does this right here say? Please refer to the separate video for an image of Operation. Bro, there's a video! There's a video of it out there! Someone needs to find this footage, bro. We need this. Ooh, and then we got something about the noble Pokemon, Kings. Are noble Pokemon actually just called Kings? They are, Kings and Queens. That's crazy. Oh my god, this is the most precious thing I've ever seen. Once the protagonist defeats each king and earns their respect, they carry them to join in exploration. Each of these special Pokemon has its own skill and they will explore areas where the protagonist's actions are limited. So we would have had Run Through, which I can only assume is just a standard like faster ride and eventually became wordier. Snowplow didn't really become a thing, but we just saw the Piloswine concept art. Rock Climb became Sneasler, Fly was Braviary, Surf was Basculegion. Cut was probably intended for Cleavor, but that didn't really end up becoming a thing. Then we have Strength, Defog, Flash, and Roar. None of those, actually. I mean, there is a sort of Strength or Rock Smash in the game, but just any Pokemon can do it. So Flash would have been interesting too, because there is a pretty dark cave at some point. And then maybe Roar for Ursaluna, although I'm not sure what Roar would have done. Maybe Ursaring, since that was originally going to be the noble. Time capsules. Wait, what? Yo, wait, no. You're telling me they scrapped real-time battles and the underground too? You can bury and store tools anywhere you like in the field. Tools that you bury can be shared with other players and can be used for gifting or trading. The items you bury can help other players or be a little prank. Legends Arceus technically does have online features, but it is very, very minimal. Literally, you can just trade, and then there's the satchels. So it'd be cool if Legends EA did actually have more online features to make it warrant being labeled as an online game. And I know it's not Sinnoh, but there just so happened to be a network of tunnels underneath Paris, so who knows? I really liked Legends Arceus. I thought it was the breath of fresh air that Pokemon needed, but of course, it was a little bit undercooked in some areas, and I would love to see it continue to grow and evolve. Like we've seen, Pokemon can be a little slow when it comes to developing new ideas. I mean, it took them 3 tries to figure out open world, and it's still not perfect. But this does make me hopeful that maybe some of those ideas could be coming in Legends EA. The most important takeaway from all this is we need to find that footage, bro. I need to see what these battles were actually like.